In today's episode, we'll show you how to return a favor to the cable guy.
He said he'd be here between the hours of 1 and 5. Here it is, 6:30. Where you been?
Where's your cable come in?
Up on the roof. As fate would have it, we're wearing the Hagar work-to-weekend khakis. And with the do-it-to-it waistband, I can move in comfort.
Hey, let me down.
We will, sometime between the hours of 7 and 11. Probably closer to 12:30. And that there is a fine example of making things right.
I'm here. Kostaki, where you been?
I've been thinking about this commercial.
Good.
And to me, the justice is interesting. As a comic, it's a good way to get to a laugh, is to find a little internal justice in something that you're talking about. And that's what this ad does. It basically tackles the cable guy and attacks him for being late to stuff when they give you an appointment. They never show up, and so it kind of gets him back. But it's not like in the prior ad when we're dealing with the insurance weasels. Those guys are, to me, are sort of the symbol of what's wrong with the system. Whereas this guy's a blue collar worker, and he's just told to go where and when, and it's not his fault that the company put too many appointments on the books. I feel for the guy. He's making minimum wage and schlepping around, and people hate to see him. And I'm rooting for this guy. I don't know why. I don't like the justice against him. He's stuck on the roof, and I feel bad for the guy.
Well, what kind of justice is it?
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. The whole idea, I mean, first of all, I enjoyed the piece. It's comic. I mean, enjoy it as sort of a superficial, oh, ha, 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 ha. You know, it's clever, it's witty, it's sort of got a slapstick edge to it. But then, what's it whispering to me, right? And it's this whole idea of justice. And, you know, it's this notion of him as an individual actually having control over his time. So when I look at the symbols in the images, what I see two white middle-class men with a paunch, which is why they need the elastic waistband. And I need my own, so don't misunderstand. But then they apparently have all the time in the world to get together and exact justice on some poor fella who's, you know, breaking his back, you know, with the long hair, seemingly can't afford a haircut. So I see it class warfare.
Yeah. It is a
middle
class,
class,
yeah.
working class warfare, and what a surprise, the middle class wins.
Yeah, the pudgy guys with the pants, right.
I mean, you notice how we've hardly mentioned pants at all, which is really interesting. I agree with you. I think this is about class warfare. And it would really frighten me if this ad worked. But then I can see where the ad exec was going with it. I mean, if I were given Hagar pants to advertise, I would just, like, quit. But yeah, so what does he do? He chooses exactly the kind of frumpy, middle-class, middle-aged white guys with a, 20 pounds too much in their McMansions who wear this sort of thing, and has them behave like overgrown frat boys or like misbehaved shock jocks or something. Is that what this market aspires to? That really terrifies me. I thought it was a really mean-spirited ad in a way. Like once the ha-ha bit of the joke got over, I just thought it left a nasty taste in my mouth.
It did, and I think people will be thinking about that, because for me, I wasn't even thinking about the slacks. Automatically, I went to the cable guy, and I thought,
poor cable guy.
Well, two things. One side was like, yeah, I started thinking about everybody who was supposed to move things to my house and gave me this 4-hour time slot, and they were late. And so I'm going over my mind and think I should be thinking about the slacks, but I didn't. Then I thought about the cable guy. I thought, poor guy, he has no control over it. They give him.
And he's been getting that all day.
Exactly.
Right? At 6:30 in the evening, and he's been putting up with.
And he was exhausted. You could just see it on his face.
No wonder I keep seeing want ads for wanted cable installers. Right? Must face massive abuse.
And just a technical thing, and in the shot where the guy runs over and pushes the ladder over, we don't know immediately if he's not on the ladder. I thought, well, this is a really dark comedy. I was actually relieved that he was safely on the roof at the end of that.
Now, I'm familiar with Kohlberg's theory of moral development, where there's certain stages.
I'm not.
Hagar has their own theory of moral development, and that is that the fattest demographic is sort of not that evolved.
No, that's what you have to look at with these ads is, there's always two questions. What's the purpose of the ad, and who is the intended audience? We know who the intended audience is because that's the heroes. Who's buying the Hagar stretched knit waist slacks? Well, it's folks like
through your waist.
And so as much as I understand the target audience, maybe only one of us, audience of the commercial, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of funny though.
In a nasty kind of way.
I had a problem with it sort of socially, but it did kind of make me laugh. It's a clever idea. The writing's kind of interesting. Anyway.
I'm always interested in corporate legal guidance, because to take someone and hold them hostage like that is a felony. And we live in an era when presidents and apparently television hosts can ignore the law. Okay, time for our exit question. Name it right. Carol.
Say it loud enough, say it long enough. That's right.
Margaret.
Admit that you were wrong in the first place, Mr. Bush.
Whew. We're all riding that horse, Leanne.
You know what? I go to the old adage, treat people like you want to be treated, and then things will always be right for you.
Gustavo.
Rock, paper, scissors.
You've seen the Bud Light commercial, right? Yes. Yes. A depoliticized Department of Justice. That's all we've got time for. Come play with us again next week on Mental Engineering.